I was just reading more. The search continues for Gabby Petito, the slain, once missing woman who Mike, her boyfriend, still missing. They issued that warrant, federal warrant, for using Gabby's debit card, pulling out $1,000. So who knows, but all hands on deck to figure out what happened to her and who the culprit is. And I was just pointing out, previously, as we hope there's resolution in that case, it's never going to be resolved for a family who's lost a loved one. Their most precious, their beautiful daughter. It's not going to be resolved for them, but we need to know more about what happened. We've talked about the disparity, how this case versus other cases, okay? The young man whose body was found earlier this month and not identified until finally, the graduate student, Illinois, Jelani.
Yeah, Jelani Day.
Till finally. Yep. Yeah, his case got some publicity because the media was kind of covering their butts. And I'll just say it again, to call Gabby a social media influencer is not accurate. She did do a travel blog. She did participate, and it is believed wanted to be, an influencer, but she had, it's reported, about 1,000 followers when she went missing, and was working to grow her audience. But the excuse that's why she deserves so much more coverage than so many others who went missing around the same time, a little earlier, after, is just not correct. It's just not true.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for that. And like you said, they're covering their tracks. I mean, yeah, social media influencer, give her coverage if you have to, or whatever, but it's never going to be equal. So I don't understand why media outlets put themselves in that situation. Here's what affects me the most, and you just brought up a point. So Gabby Petito was missing. We know the suspect in her situation. It's her boyfriend. I can't think of his name offhand. But it's her boyfriend or fiance, Brian Laundrie. So they're looking for him. He's a person of interest. I know he's got a warrant for the credit card or whatever. They haven't made him a suspect in her death, right? But they know that they have something that they want to talk to him about. When it comes to Jelani Day, because of how long it took for them to identify the body after his mom reported him missing back in August, they found his body on September 4th, and here we are almost 3 weeks later, and they're just now telling his mother, hey, this is your son. He was found floating in the river or in the lake or wherever he was found. Now it's cold. Look, we know enough about these cases to know that if you don't have a suspect within the first 48 hours, it could go cold or whatever. So I'm thinking about his mother right now. Well, I'm thinking about the Petito family as well, don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking about his mother because they don't have a suspect. They don't have a lead right now. All they had was a car that was missing, and they found this car, and then they found a body. They don't know. So the justice, there's closure in knowing that her son, unfortunately, has passed away. So at least she doesn't have to worry about, is he going to come home? Where is he? What happened to him? Whatever. She has that body. And you mentioned Michael Jordan's family or whatnot, having his body cremated, Michael Jordan's father's body cremated. But once again, where will the justice come for Jelani Day's family? And they may never get it because of the lack of interest in his case and how long they waited to actually find his body and to report his body to his mother. So that's what I'm thinking about right now, Sharon. And that's the shame.
I agree with you. He went missing in August. Think of the mother's anguish, okay? Early September, this body is pulled from the river. Since then, the family's been desperate. They didn't want this outcome, but knowing something and not having this false hope of, is he coming home? Where is he? Can we help? Is he in pain? For weeks, they had the body. And because, there's no attention focused here on this missing person. And again, the car, and there was something went on here. Because they didn't pay attention. Authorities, the world, mass media. This family I saw the brother on TV just a day or so ago, begging for tips and leads to bring his brother home. The body was in custody. And no one thought, black male, understand decomposition this time of year. It's very difficult to imagine, but you understand. Nobody thought this appears to be the size, height, something, weight, whatever. This could be. Not until
we found the car.
The missing white woman syndrome took hold. There was blowback, there was criticism, and suddenly a few crumbs, a few breadcrumbs were sprinkled along the trail of Jelani Day. And now his family has pain, horror. I hate the word closure. At least they know.
But here's the thing. They will never probably have closure. With Gabby Petito, there could be closure because if they find Laundry and Laundry admits, whatever, if he's a suspect and he is indeed her killer, there is closure to know, okay, why did this happen? There was a spat, there could have been something, at least they have a suspect. Jelani Day's family may never have closure because now they have the body, they have closure in knowing that he's passed away, but now you want to know why. Why my baby? What this young man who was going to medical school was going to be a doctor, who was a great guy, a good kid, it appears from all indications. Why did this happen to him? Who did this to him? That is something that was going to haunt this family for a long period of time until they get those answers from authorities out there. And once again, it's not just about Jelani Day. It's not just about Gabby Petito. It's about others that we'll be talking about. Allison Bradley, Ashley Guillory, Bernadette Padilla, Jenny Hernandez, Keisha Jacobs, Marilyn McCown, Mercedes Tolliver, Sakina Hanna, Santana Buckman, Tiffany Foster, thousands of others that are out there right now missing. And their families are looking for answers. And yes, we used to put them on milk cartons. We used to put them on the back of grocery bags or whatever. They're not even doing that too much anymore. These families need answers because some of these missing people out there, I pray, are still alive and it's not too late. So please, we got to do a better job overall across the board.
And Mike, I'll end at least my perspective with this. If you need any more proof that this is about black and white, if you need any more proof, just look at these two cases. If you want to reduce the media to something superficial, mass media, and say, well, a beautiful blonde girl goes missing, and beautiful people make for good ratings. I've not seen a more beautiful man. Both of these victims had families who cared for them. Medical school, okay?
Medical school, yeah.
She's about to get married. Their families both loved and desperately craved to have them in their arms again, right? Two families seemingly loving their children outwardly and providing a good life for them. There is only one difference. Black man, not as valued. Black man, not valued. Beautiful Jelani Day. Looks like he stepped right out of Central Casting. A modeling agency would have loved to have him. Built, beautiful, strong, smart, mother, family loves him. This is all I want to point out. Gabby Petito was and is loved, and so is he. You may get tired of hearing it. I'm not going to stop saying it. Look at your life. Look at your life.
You're right. You're right. And you mentioned, and we said this, it was a reaction. When is it going to be first? And I don't even know how to say this, Sharon, because it's like everybody deserves coverage. I don't know how we pick and choose who's going. You know, I don't know, like, because I don't think one person or one missing person deserves more coverage than somebody else. So even if it does turn around and we start, because there are other black people. So if we pick Jelani Day, absolutely. We can put Jelani Day up there, but there are thousands of black people, kids who look just like Jelani Day that are missing too. And their families are like, well, you gave him some attention. How come I can't get attention? So it's, what do we do? What do we do? We got to find a solution.
I think you ask a valid question and a real question, but I would ask another, because I don't think it's about how we pick and choose. I think it's about who we choose to ignore. And if we would just stop doing that, I honestly believe the rest could take care of itself, right? She was picked because she is a blonde, white woman. Not because she's a YouTuber. We've gone over that. 1,000 followers doesn't make you an influencer. That's why she was picked. He was ignored, medical school and all, because he's a black man. If we would just stop ignoring real people who deserve to be here, deserve the love they too receive, deserve to have a life, and deserve answers when they go missing and, God forbid, are found dead. To me, that would solve a lot.
And Sharon, on that point, this, it has to go deeper than just the media. We're looking at the outside and what we're saying the media. The thing is, it's the authorities. It has to start with the authorities and how they view us as missing people and view white people as missing people. The same treatment, the same type of resources that they put into finding the pretty little white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. You need to do the same thing for the strong black man who goes missing, who's just graduated from medical school. You need to do the same thing. But the reason why is because of the perception and how they see us when it comes to the authorities. They see us and they say, well, it must be some kind of foul play. Just a runaway. It's always something. There's always some kind of excuse. Not that this is just a victim, an innocent victim who was minding their own business, doing something, living their lives, wanting to live a better life and make a better life for themselves. And all of a sudden, because of some foul play from somebody else, some other fool, took that away from them and their family. But because the authorities view us that way, this is the reason we get treated that way. And all of a sudden, they don't give the same resources or the same attention that the other people get. And that is where it has to start first and foremost before we can get to all the mass media that's out there not giving the same equal treatment to everybody.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Unless they're all intertwined. You know, that saying about a dog chasing its tail, you know, which came first, right? Which came first, the cameras or this investigation that grew to disproportionate size? Which came first? The cameras, the scrutiny, or this huge manpower investigation? And I don't know the answer to that, but I do believe about, is it a dog chasing its tail, wagging it? You know what I'm saying, okay? Or a hamster on a wheel. It's this cycle of who matters. It's what we teach people in media about who matters, and the people, the places, and the ways we cover them. So, you know, I love doing this show with you because we're not going to stop talking about it. We're not. We shouldn't. And we're not asked to, thank God.